Through the lens of Woody Allen, the master of irony, humor takes on a life of its own. Known for his wit and sharp observations, Allen captures the absurdities of existence like no one else. In this collection, we explore some of his funniest and most memorable lines. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. In short, the best thing to do is behave in a manner befitting one's age. If you are 16 or under, try not to go bald. Is old age really so terrible? Not if you brushed your teeth faithfully. I think aging has nothing to recommend it. You come to understand life and accept things, but you trade all of that for being 35 again. You'll live to be 100 if you give up all the things that make you want to. My one regret in life is that I am not someone else. You can't control life. Only art and masturbation you can control. Two areas in which I am an absolute expert. Life is divided into the horrible and the miserable. Life doesn't imitate art. It imitates bad television. That's one of the nice things about writing or any art. If the thing's real, it just lives. In life, one is entitled to a side dish of either coleslaw or potato salad, and the choice must be made in terror, with the knowledge that not only is our time on Earth limited, but most kitchens close at 10. Life is like a concentration camp. You can't leave without dying. I do believe that reality is dreadful, and that you are forced to choose it in the end or go crazy, but that it kills you. I am not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens. Don't think of death as an ending. Think of it as a really effective way of cutting down your expenses. There are worse things in life than death. Have you ever spent an evening with an insurance salesman? I don't want to achieve immortality through my work. I want to achieve it through not dying. Dying is one of the few things that can be done as easily lying down. It is impossible to experience one's death objectively and still carry a tune. I sold my memoirs of my love life to Parker Brothers, and they're going to make a game out of it. No matter what the shrinks or the pundits or the self-help books tell you, when it comes to love, it's luck. Is it better to be the lover or the loved one? Neither if your cholesterol is over 600. Men learn to love the woman they are attracted to. Women learn to become attracted to the man they fall in love with. I've never dated a fictional character before. The closest I ever came was an Italian. My success has allowed me to strike out with a higher class of women. Man consists of two parts, his mind and his body. Only the body has more fun. I believe that sex is a beautiful thing between two people. Between five, it's fantastic. Remember, if you smoke after sex, you're doing it too fast. Bisexuality doubles your chances of a date on a Saturday night. Having sex is like playing bridge. If you don't have a good partner, you better have a good hand. I'm such a good lover because I practice a lot on my own. My love life is terrible. The last time I was inside a woman was when I visited the Statue of Liberty. Sex alleviates tension. Love causes it. Is sex dirty? Only if it's done right. I have an intense desire to return to the womb. Anybody's. I once stole a pornographic book that was printed in Braille. I used to rub the dirty parts. Sex without love is an empty experience. But as empty experiences go, it's a pretty good one. I want to tell you a terrific story about oral contraception. I asked this girl to sleep with me, and she said, no. Marriage is the death of hope. I tended to place my wife under a pedestal. What I do know about physics is that to a man standing on the shore, time passes quicker than to a man on a boat, especially if the man on the boat is with his wife. Basically, my wife was immature. I'd be at home in the bath and she'd come in and sink my boats. Marriage is like mushrooms. We notice too late if they are good or bad. A wife lasts only for the length of the marriage, but an ex-wife is there for the rest of your life. I should have known something was wrong with my first wife. When I brought her home to meet my parents, they approved of her. I got a divorce because my ex-wife left me for another woman. My ex-wife was a philosophy major at NYU. Yeah, she and I used to have deep philosophical discussions where she would prove that I didn't exist. I did not marry the first girl that I fell in love with because there was a tremendous religious conflict. She was an atheist, and I was an agnostic. I took a test in existentialism. I left all the answers blank and got 100. What if everything is an illusion and nothing exists? In that case, I definitely overpaid for my carpet. I believe there is something out there watching us. Unfortunately, it's the government. I don't believe in an afterlife, but I'm taking an extra pair of underwear just in case. Eternity is really long, especially near the end. What if nothing exists and we're all in somebody's dream? Or what's worse, what if only that fat guy in the third row exists? Eternal nothingness is fine if you happen to be dressed for it. When I was kidnapped, my parents snapped into action. They rented out my room. I don't think my parents liked me. They put a live teddy bear in my crib. I've inherited the worst of each parent. I have my father's hypochondria and lack of concentration. Then I have my mother's surly, pill-like, complaining, whining attitude. My father owned a small piece of land. He carried it with him wherever he went. My mother never had time for me. When you're the middle child in a family of 5 million, you don't get any attention. When I was born, my mother was terribly disappointed. Not that she wanted a girl, she wanted a divorce. I'm very proud of my gold pocket watch. My grandfather, on his deathbed, sold me this watch. My grandfather was a very insignificant man, actually. At his funeral, his hearse followed the other cars. My grandfather had a wonderful funeral. On the buffet table, there was a replica of the deceased in potato salad. It seemed the world was divided into good and bad people. The good ones slept better, while the bad ones seemed to enjoy the waking hours much more. I don't respond well to mellow. You know what I mean? I have a tendency to, if I get too mellow, I ripen and then rot. Some drink deeply from the river of knowledge. Others only gargle. I'm astounded by people who want to know the universe when it's hard enough to find your way around Chinatown. Figures tell us there are already more people on Earth than we need to move even the heaviest piano. You make films, whether they're dramas or comedies, about neurotic people. To make them about calm, stable, untroubled people isn't interesting. If my films make one more person miserable, I'll feel I have done my job. Born Alan Stewart Konigsberg on December 1, 1935, in Brooklyn, New York, Woody Allen is an American filmmaker, writer, actor, and comedian known for his sharp wit and neurotic humor. Starting his career as a comedy writer and stand-up comedian, Allen became famous for his unique blend of intellectual humor and self-deprecating comedy. Throughout his prolific career, he has written, directed, and starred in numerous iconic films, including Annie Hall, 1977, Manhattan, 1979, and Midnight in Paris, 2011. Allen has received multiple Academy Awards, and his influence on comedy and cinema is undeniable. Despite controversies, his work remains a significant part of American film history, blending humor with philosophical musings on life, love, and mortality. That's all, folks. Hope you had as much fun watching as we did making it. Stay curious, keep smiling, and keep enjoying life.